So I started with 2 scrap pieces of fabric, and I used a very sophisticated tool, a saucer, laid it down, traced around it, cut it out. Easy, easy. The first thing I'm gonna do is put these pretty side to pretty side, and I'm gonna sew all the way around, leaving a hole so I can turn it right side out in just a second. Straight stitch, 1/4 inch seam, back stitch when you start and when you stop, because my grandma said so.
Our local grocery store is Piggly Wiggly. A long time ago, they used to have these quality stamps, and every time you made a purchase, you got stamps, and you licked them and stuck them to these cards, and then you got to spend your stamps. And y'all, these plates came from quality stamps. These were my husband's great aunt's plates, and it's what I feed my classes off of. And I know some of y'all out there remember the quality stamps.
Now you're gonna put your fingers on the inside and turn it right side out. We wanna make sure we push out all of the edges all the way around, and then we're gonna iron it. So I'm gonna take a chopstick, handy dandy from, I don't know, Walmart, Chinese restaurant, stick it in there and run it just around the outside of it. And that's gonna help push all that extra fabric out so you don't have some weird pocket in it. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna go iron mine. You go iron yours. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so we've cut it, we've sewn it, we've turned it right side out, and we've ironed it. We have a hole, and when we ironed it, we turned it under and ironed it down. The next thing we're gonna do is sew right here. We're just gonna sew another seam right here. Don't close your hole up. You're just gonna sew in the inside. I'm gonna sew mine about a 1/4 inch in. I'm gonna follow the edge of my fabric with the edge of my presser foot. Maybe a little more than a 1/4 inch inside, because my elastic is 1/4 inch elastic, but so I might sew mine just a touch larger, but 1/4, 5/8, you could go a 1/2 inch and that would be fine. Back stitch when you start and when you stop.
My classes get so tickled because I feed them off of these glass plates, and they go in the dishwasher, but they do not go in the microwave. Because if you put them in the microwave, all of a sudden you get a 4th of July show, and it's a little bit scary, but they're so nostalgic, and I love them.
Okay, I sewed all the way around, and I met where I started. I didn't leave a hole, I just sewed one big circle. And I have this hole right here, right? And I have a piece of elastic that is, dun dun dun, 7.5 inches long. And I now have a little tiny safety pin. I'm gonna put my safety pin in it, and I'm gonna feed my elastic through my jar topper. Now, I happen to have a bunch of these pieces of elastic already cut, because when I teach little people, all they wanna do is make scrunchies. And so I cut their supplies and put them in a bucket with the strips and the elastic so they can make all that they want. So I just reached and grabbed one of those. But I put it around the jar, and I think it's gonna be fine. We're gonna feed it through. Oh my goodness. So I don't love to cook. I do love to watch cooking shows. I like to watch other people cook, but because I think that maybe someday I'm gonna do it, but really not. I do enjoy their love for it. But my little fella, or the big baby, loves to cook. Absolutely loves it. And he is a fantastic cook. And a couple of years ago, he and I made blueberry jelly, and we had it in a humongous like stock pot. I don't know how many quarts of it we made, but we had a lot of fun making it, and it really wasn't hard to make. It's just the act of actually doing it. And we just ate the last jar of blueberry jelly. I asked Timothy the other night, that's husband, I said, Timothy, we have some more jelly? And he said, no, I think we need to get some, but there's some of your blueberry jelly in the pantry. And I said, oh, well, I want that. And he said, sorry, Mama, I looked, we already ate it. And I thought, dang it. I guess that's probably on my list of things to do, because I have a bunch of blueberry bushes. So we have all the fresh blueberries. Okay, I fed it through. Now I'm going to very unattractively sew my elastic together. I'm sure there's some magic way that I've never learned, but I'm just crossing mine over and stitching. But I'm stitch, 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 stitch to give it some strength when it's pulled. After you have attractively or unattractively connected your elastic, pull it inside your cover so we can close up our hole. Now we're going to come right here and close up the original hole that we left. Now let's put it on our jar. Oh my goodness, y'all. If I cooked or if I canned, all of my jars would have to look like this. So you have the jar, the lid, because there's something in it, and the ring, and then you're just going to put this over the top. Oh my goodness, look how cute that is. I love it. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.